market, why following me? These guys, my bodyguard. Everyone, Brixton is following me. I'm Brixton behind my back, Michael is there. Why are you following me?
He said he's gonna take Islam down. Take Islam down.
The book of perplexity given to him by angel Ezekiel.
Okay.
So the story, there's a whole story.
So where is your camera though?
Where is your camera? Find out here.
Zohar and things
I like seeking knowledge so that I know, yeah. Broad knowledge.
What do you
I don't know anything about it, I'll go online, yeah.
Targeting Muslims, you're only pulling the
What is your problem? You know to know about other religion. These guys, let me. He believes in something, maybe you know. Tell him, maybe you don't know.
He doesn't know, he probably won't know.
Probably won't know.
He's not a Jew, he wouldn't know.
No, he's not a Jew, you're right. No, he's a Hebrew Israelite.
You're a Hebrew Israelite?
Yeah, he is. Hebrew.
You're a Hebrew Israelite?
Yeah, but he's Hebrew, he's a Hebrew. You're Hebrew.
What are you?
Don't use the term Hebrew.
No, but what do you use then?
It doesn't use the term Hebrew.
So what do you use?
It just says Israelite.
Oh, Israelite, yeah.
Where did this come from?
Israelite.
Bible.
No.
Where did it come from?
Where did it come from? Yeah, got to explain it.
Where did this term come from?
Yeah, the Israelite.
Why do you define yourself that way?
Yeah, it's asking you.
Because it's in the Bible.
Okay.
Ask him to quote in the Bible.
What Bible?
Yeah.
What Bible?
Quote it.
What Bible? You have to ask one question.
No, you need to know.
There's many Bibles, many forms.
My voice is gone.
So what Bible?
I have to.
Do you know what translation?
The title. What's
I know
it
what
put it?
translation. I know what
KJV
KJV Bible.
Yeah, it's a translation.
Yes, it is a translation.
Then I went there. He was asking. They're running away from me. That's when I went and said, why? So when you look at him. So I wanted to talk about it. I said, Nami doesn't talk about the Quran. I said, look, I'm ready. It's a long video, maybe you have to shut it. I'm ready to talk about the Quran and the Bible. Let's debate. The Quran versus the Bible. No. You want to ask question. Then after that, the lady came in. You see, when the lady came out explaining, they were barging in. I finished the lady. Then I told him, he said, show me in the Bible why Jesus said he's a prophet. That's when I said, quote it. I'm going to quote it. I said, open the Bible. Then he read it in front of everybody. So it's about this. Maybe you have to trim it. Yeah. With the lady, it's separate with the lady. Lady is a different thing. Because in the end, I explained very well. Lady. Inshallah.
Alright, so this is 2 Corinthians 11. Alright, verse 20. It says, for ye suffer if a man bring you into bondage, if a man devour you, if a man take of you, if a man exalt himself, if a man smite you on the face.
Yeah.
I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak, howbeit whereinsoever any is bold. I speak foolishly. I am bold also. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. There you go.
Okay, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because you don't understand it.
No.
See, it's down. The Bible's about people understanding it, not just making comments. See, if you don't understand it, then
how you understand it?
By reading it.
Do you have any artifacts?
But you jumped now.
No, I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, but we're talking about understanding here. See,
understanding that you're a Hebrew Israelite.
Well, I'll just read you a verse.
But when
You're Israelite.
He said,
I'm asking you, have you have any artifacts to define yourself as an Israelite?
We don't need artifacts.
Does your sect? Oh, of course. If you need to back up your historical evidence.
What I'm saying is right there. You got to back it.
Like me, I'm a Sephardi Jew. I have historical evidence of many people who came from Spain and Morocco that has that, and they have artifacts.
And where are they?
They're all dead now. Abraham Abu Lafia, Maimonides. There's other people as well that I can mention.
You said artifacts.
Yes, artifacts.
But dead people aren't artifacts.
I said they have artifacts. They gave artifacts.
Huh?
Sephardi Jews, when they fled Israel, they went to Spain.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when Kabbalistic Jews coming in through Maimonides and through Abraham Abu Lafia. If you can search him up, you understand who he is.
But you said they fled into Spain.
Yes, from Israel.
All right. So in the Bible, usually whenever the Israelites flee, where do they normally go? In the Bible.
Around the world.
Bible.
Africa and Europe. That's why there's Ashkenazi Jews. There's many of them. There's many.
So
Jews.
in the Bible, it hasn't flee to Europe.
Pardon?
In the Bible, you can read somewhere in the Bible where they flee to Europe.
Yes.
Wait. Okay. Give me the verse.
They do flee to Europe. Jews do flee to Europe.
Yeah. Give me the verse.
And Spain is part of Europe.
Give me the verse.
Give you the verse.
Yeah, in the Bible.
It's this historical evidence of there.
Give me the verse.
I don't need to give you the verse. It's historical evidence. I don't need to give you a verse. It's historical evidence of Jews fleeing Israel to go to Europe.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the Bible times.
Forget the Bible. I'm talking historical evidence.
No, but you see, if you're not interested in the Bible, then there's no point. I follow what's in the Bible, not history.
New Testament, right?
Old Testament.
Torah. So you can read Hebrew.
Don't have to. Do you know what it says?
I'm done here. No.
All right, that's fine.
No, because I'm telling you, you're telling me where in the Bible it says that the Jews fled to Europe. There's historical evidence of Jews fleeing to Europe. Which after the Romans took over, they fled to Europe.
That's it.
And they went to Spain. They went to Ascalon. They got different sects of Judaism.
It's right there.
Well, not quite.
It doesn't need to be in the Bible. There's historical evidence.
All right. Was there a time when the Babylonians took over Jerusalem?
There's many people taking over Jerusalem. Not only Babylonians, the Ottomans did as well.
All right. And what happened to the Israelites when the Babylonians were attacking Jerusalem?
They fled.
All right. And
but that wasn't the first time they fled, though.
Yeah, I know. But the thing about it
was that the first time or the second time they fled or the third time they fled? Was that the first, second, or third time they fled Israel?
No, that'd be the first time.
You think it's the first time?
No, Judah. I'm talking about because you say you're a Jew.
I don't go by that. I go by historical evidence.
Yeah, but
if you want to quote something in Hebrew, I can do that.
Yeah, but it depends which Hebrew it is, isn't it?
Pardon?
Depends which Hebrew it is.
He was a rabbi, and all of a sudden he was a bad, and all of a sudden he became and Jesus never said out of his mouth that he's a God. Even in the
all right. So do you know what Edom is?
Edom.
Yeah. Do you know who Edom is?
Edom.
Yeah.
No.
I thought you said you're a Jew.
I am a Jew. I'm telling you. I'm being honest with you. I don't know who that is. So enlighten me. I'm an honest person, so if I don't know something, I will tell you I don't know something.
No, I'm just a bit shocked because every Jew should know who Edom is. That's part of the history.
Okay.
All right.
And not every Jew does though. So carry on.
Well, if I said this to Josh, he definitely would know it. I know that.
That's Josh.
Yeah.
I'm not Josh.
Okay. All right. So Esau is the brother of Jacob.
Yeah.
And the Edomites are the descendants of Esau.
Okay.
Right. So this is Obadiah, verse. Let's see. Yeah. So this is Obadiah, verse 10, and so this is talking about. Well, actually, let's start from 8. He says, Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, so to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast one of them, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of thy people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done. It shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So, I don't know if you know Edom. Do you know where it is in relation to the land of Israel? You know what direction?
Enlighten me.
Alright, that'll be fine.
Similarly, there is a one God. Imagine you are in the cloud. You will not say, oh God, oh Jesus. First thing you say, oh God. You call upon the only true God. Don't worship unless you are for us like Moses. Like Isaac. Like Moses mentioned in Quran.
Coffee, caffeine. More stories about Beni Israel, Quran, and
I had a good debate there. I had 2 good debates.
Give me my money, my 1,000. What is Bob? What is Bob? Where's your camera? Cameraman. Cameraman, what is
It's a map.
Yeah.
Jericho.
How do I put that in that?
Jerusalem there, Jericho. Now if we go across to the west, the Ammonites up there,
Yeah.
and down the bottom here we got Edom. So Edom is down there. So if this is north, that's to the southwest, southeast of Israel. Alright.
Hello? Hello? Speaker's corner.
So you came to ask me something, was it?
Oh yeah, I heard you say. You said
I'm gonna be
that
back
you want
in
anyone to come and speak to you.
Well, I've debated with you already
yeah,
now.
but I'm anyone though, ain't I?
No, but we have debated 3 times,
Yeah,
that's
but,
the thing.
yeah, but it doesn't matter. You said anyone, didn't you?
What I mean by that?
Yeah.
Yes, because you said anyone, that means anyone can come now
I'm gonna come back
and challenge you, isn't it?
We
That's
debated.
That's what you said,
I'm
though.
gonna come back.
Yeah, what I mean by that, not the people that, no, what I mean by that, not someone that I debated about 3-4 times.
You never said that, though, did you?
Yes.
You just said any. You just said any. You didn't say only someone that I didn't debate before. You said anyone.
What does that mean?
Yeah. So you have to be a man of your word, isn't it?
I know.
That's what I mean. I debated with you already. So,
It doesn't matter. You said anyone.
no.
Anyone means anyone.
You are not straight.
So
Your
you
debate is
define
not-
yourself as a Hebrew Israelite?
Oh, but let's finish this. You know what I read to you about
Okay,
Obadiah?
about Edom, yes, okay.
Yeah. So remember, it was saying about how when they tried to escape, the Edomites cut them off in the crossway. So that means as they were escaping when the Babylonians were coming down, if Edom is down in the southeast, then that means the people are running south, isn't it? Since they were cutting them off in the crossway, that means they were trying to go down, and Edom was to the east, and so they come across and cut them off.
Okay.
Because they're not going to go north. Because if Edom's southeast, you don't want to travel all the way up to the top of Samaria. That's too far. You want to wait for them to come to you, and then you attack them. So that means that this shows that the children of Israel, one of the big escape routes was down south.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not only one route though.
Yeah, but it's a big route because
But there was not only one route.
no, there's multiple routes.
So I'm
But
saying the children of Israel, they split. Everyone has gone different directions.
yeah,
And there's mass. There's so much evidence.
that's fine. But then this
Plus my family, I can go back to my great-great-grandfather, who's a rabbi.
yeah.
So like, who also has done another commentary on Maimonides.
Yeah, but remember.
You know who that is? You know who Maimonides is? Maimonides, you know who that is?
No, that's too wonderful. I'm only sticking to stuff that happened back then.
Yeah, and Maimonides is someone who's done a commentary on things like this.
Yeah, but when did he do it though?
Huh?
When did he do that commentary?
Around 980.
Oh, okay.
Say during the uprising of Constantine. During the uprising of Constantine.
My voice.
Oh, that's 300.
Yeah, okay. Let's say 300.
All right.
Because that's what I know.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. So, but the thing about it is that because of what happened in Jerusalem, and when we read in the Bible, it says there are a lot of synagogues as well. But when we look around the area now, you just don't see any of what was described in the Bible. So that shows you that some kind of big persecution happened. But here's the thing, if a big persecution that happens like that, what do you think happens to all the documentation?
Well, many documentation has been burned.
We are doing dawah.
So there you go.
Oh, another one, the Library of Alexandria. That's another verse. That's another place that's been burnt down, full of documentation.
Yeah, so...
Have you read the Nag Hammadi scriptures?
No, I haven't.
There's so much there. Like you can't just rely on one source. There's so much there.
Yeah, but
that's why I'm saying when you define yourself as something, there has to be history towards your cause.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When it says about what's going to happen to the Israelites, in Deuteronomy 28, about how they're going to different ways in which they're going to be persecuted because they didn't obey God. Then it actually explains in there what the people, the position they be in, doesn't it? So when they're in that, whatever God describes about how the people are going to be, we have to say that that's true, isn't it?
Yes, I'm a Jew.
Okay, so if
I'm not disagreeing with going down south. I'm like saying, everyone went different places.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, though, is why is it they only mention the north ones, and why the south doesn't get a mention?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why. I do not know why.
Well, you could check with one of your rabbis.
I don't have a rabbi.
Oh, so you're like
I'm an independent scholar. My family were rabbis. My father, my great great grandfather, and my great great grandfather, going back to the 17th century and stuff like that.
All right.
Morocco.
So you don't speak to any like people who they descendants of who they knew, or
I already have evidence of my descendants from my fathers, from my forefathers as well.
But that evidence, is it?
I personally have artifacts.
Yeah, but those artifacts, what are they like in normal paper form?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And some are broken as well.
when you say broken, what do you mean?
Some are broken. Some artifacts are broken and some are preserved.
When you say artifact, are you talking about it physically or in the information?
Physical artifacts that has from those ages.
Oh, okay. So you mean like drugs and stuff like that?
No, not drugs.
No, drugs. You know.
Yeah, drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Plates
scriptures, wood scriptures.
All right.
You know when you get a cow skin and you write down on cow skin?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Parchment.
Things like that.
Yeah.
And many other things as well.
Right. Okay. So.
And also during the Islamic colonization of Spain, they left the synagogue, they didn't touch it. The Islamic colonization of Spain,
Yeah.
they didn't to get rid of the synagogues in Spain.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. But you're talking about in like the 6th or 7th century.
And when you do it, you should start shouting against.
But it happened multiple times. Didn't
Yeah,
it?
multiple times.
Yeah. So which?
I'm talking about the Islamic, when they went through North Africa
Yeah.
to get to Spain,
Right.
and then when they took over North Africa, that's when they took over Spain.
Yeah. You talk about the first.
And that's when the Sephardi Jews came in
Right. Okay.
to Morocco. So there's a big historical evidence for this.
Oh yeah. Okay. But see what it is, it's whether they I don't know how to say it. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So you know, but do you believe in anything in the New Testament, or are you just the Torah and?
I'm a Kabbalistic Jew.
All right. So what scriptures do you believe in?
The Zohar, there's a commentary.
Okay.
Torah,
But
the Tanakh, what else? The Midrash. There's many other forms as well.
right.
But I'm mainly a Kabbalistic Jew, so I have a mystical understanding of God.
All right. So
More metaphysical. No, if you understand metaphysics, you understand through self, you can identify God.
Yeah, I know, but
Because God cannot nor be a person, nor is everywhere.
yeah.
This is the cosmos, basically.
Right. So how do you I suppose you believe you believe in all the prophets written in the. All right. So you know Daniel in Daniel 7, where it talks about when Daniel saw the thrones coming down and the Ancient of Days he'd sit. What do you think that means?
I don't know. I can't say. I can't say because I haven't read it.
But it's quite a big one to read, you know, because it's worth going to, if you have time, going to an actual rabbi and asking what that Daniel 7 means, because it's got a lot of deep.
Many rabbis are deceiving nowadays. That's why.
Well,
And not many from my heritage. We don't have many rabbis for our heritage.
right.
Kind of like died off.
Yeah.
There's only a few. There's a what's this rabbi called again? Rabbi Pinto,
Okay.
which is in Morocco.
Yeah.
It's one rabbi I'm aware of.
Right.
But I've never spoken to him, so that's one rabbi I'm aware of. That I know.
No.
So it's a B.
Yeah. Well, look how usually the wasp is a bit more faster, because the wasps are like thinner and the bees are more round. Alright, so you're saying mystical. So do you have like a
Metaphysical and mystical.
Yeah, metaphysical.
So we have the Zohar. The Zohar. If you actually read the Zohar, you understand we have a mystical understanding. That commentary was done by another individual. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
But he came after Maimonides.
Alright, but here's the interesting thing. In this Zohar, does it explain to you anything about what's going to happen in the end times? So what kind of stuff does
The
it
Messianic
say?
age.
Right.
It's about the Messianic age.
Alright, does it have any details relating to the Messiah?
It's forbidden. In a way, I can't really. We don't really talk about that in vain.
Alright.
But no, I'm just saying it's literally forbidden.
Alright, okay. That's interesting. Because you see, the way you'd think that
The way to talk about, because we see the Messiah as someone to bring the Jews, to bring the Jews out of
But here's the thing. But some of those Jews will be, some will be like unrighteous, and some will be righteous, wouldn't they?
Correct, because there has to be that way. If it's because you can't just tell someone, okay, even if you're unrighteous, you can get into heaven. It doesn't work like that.
So
God specifically says in the Zohar, even if sin is committed, you still can get into heaven, but you still have to go through a phase of hell.
Oh, that sounds a bit like the Catholics.
No.
Because the purgatory, they say that someone could pay off. So someone's in purgatory and you can pay money to get them out.
No, don't pay money. It's your soul.
Yeah.
So your soul has to go through that. So when you die, your soul is basically your vessel. No, a Jew, Sephardi Jew.
I heard about purgatory. I'm a bit confused.
No. He was trying to say if you can pay someone out of hell, but the Catholic, that's the Catholics.
I'm Catholic.
What kind of Catholic? There's many forms of Catholicism. There's so many forms of Catholicism.
Him too.
I don't know them.
Catholicism is one church, right? So it's dogmas. If you don't hold your dogmas right, you're not part of the church. So, yeah.
I know, but there is at least two types of Catholics.
There's many forms, though. Am I correct? There's many forms of Catholicism.
No, but there's at least two. There's one that believes that the Pope's infallible, and one that doesn't.
No. If you don't believe the Pope's infallible, then you're not a Catholic. There used to be old Catholics, right? That did believe that. But after the First Vatican Council, it became dogma that the Pope is infallible, and they were kicked out of the church. They weren't part of the church anymore because they didn't believe in that. But now to be a Catholic, though, you need to believe in the papal infallibility.
Right, but what does that mean? Because I spoke to I spoke to the Catholic guy over there, and he said that there's certain instances where the Pope, you can, if he does certain things, then you can go against him.
But I think that's ideology.
Well, it has to be. Like, religion
That is ideology.
Well,
if you need a hierarchy to agree with what you do, it's ideology. If it's not God saying it's ideology.
The way it works with us, though, because
Am I correct?
Yeah, Christ said No, based on what Christ said, Christ said to Peter, I paid for your faith, right, to not fail. And so,
why do you need to pay?
Pay for what? You don't need to pay.
I don't understand.
You don't need to pay. But regarding papal infallibility, though, that is only under certain circumstances. There are times when the Pope can make a ruling, right?
Yeah.
And it might even be like not the best ruling. It could be like a bad ruling. Like Pope, what was his name? Pope sent the Spanish right to America, and what happened there was terrible. That was a bad decision on his part.
The Spanish.
So Pope sent the Spanish here to America, to the New World, right? And they kind of like killed the Native Americans and.
Basically, that's fucked up.
I mean,
that is so fucked up.
I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect.
No, but you believe in the same church that slaughtered millions.
Yeah, but they've got the power, you see. That's how it works.
That's because it's the wealth.
Yeah. I mean, we don't.
Okay, without wealth, the church will not survive. They don't have the mystical, metaphysical understanding of God.
Do you not think?
Without wealth, the
No, but do you not think you believe? Don't you believe in a God that slaughtered millions?
Pardon me?
Do you not think you believe in a God that slaughtered millions?
No.
Why?
Because God doesn't have wealth. God could not have wealth. He's not a physical thing to have wealth.
It's not about wealth.
It's not a physical.
It's nothing to do with wealth. It's like if you create a tsunami on Boxing Day, which happened in Thailand. Boxing Day killed 30,000 people, 4,000 children. If that's natural evil, then you believe in a God that is good for whatever reason. I'm not saying it's to
Don't
justify
you think that's global warming?
But if God created the world, then.
Well, the world can act on its own, though.
No, it's not.
No, but
global warming. There's many forms of stuff that happens on this world.
If God created the world,
you're a Jew, right? You're a Jew.
Exactly. So if God created the world, with tectonic plates, and they shifted in a way that created an earthquake and therefore a tsunami on Boxing Day, which is what happened, and killed 30,000 people. Didn't God therefore, considering he knows what happens, I'm not saying it's unjustified, I'm not saying that there's not a reason, there are ways you can maybe get out of it, but regardless, his actions, him creating these 600 plates, setting up the cause, pushing the dominoes.
Why would God want to do that in the first place?
I don't know, you tell me, I don't believe in God.
If he's a loving God, why would he want to do that?
You tell me.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
So I don't agree with that.
No, that is what happened.
I am a Jew, but I don't agree with that.
But why?
I don't think
How? No,
What type of Jew are you then?
No, this is
I'm a Sephardi Jew.
they're different
Okay.
from
I'm not
Orthodox.
Ashkenazi, I'm not ultra Orthodox.
Okay.
If I was Orthodox, I'll be like going like crazy with this. But I don't, because it's not logical.
Okay, yeah, I mean, the thing is, bear in mind that God has made your life right. He can take it whenever he wants. He has every right over you. He has more right over
Right
you.
over everyone and
Anything. So if he wants to take your life away
we're
right
made in
now,
God's image. So yeah.
but if he wants to take your life away right now, like a lightning strike, he can do that. He has every right to. He owns you. He owns all of us. He has every right to take our lives.
He owns our souls.
He owns
Not our vessels. Our vessels are here for
even that.
only for a certain time.
No. Even our bodies, right? It's for God. We our bodies serve God. That's it. The reason why we were made was to serve God and honor Him. That's why we were made. We were made for our own end.
I have a metaphysical understanding of God, saying your soul, when your soul comes to this planet, it has a purpose.
Yeah.
When that purpose is fulfilled, you would feel it.
That purpose is to worship God and honor Him.
Okay, correct. I agree with you. But there is a metaphysical understanding of God.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Thank you.
And that idea of God is that
Through metaphysics, you have to have mysticism. Am I correct?
Yeah, we have mysticism. Yeah,
you.
Catholic. Yeah. You have Kabbalah, innit? Kabbalah. You
Yes,
have Kabbalah.
I'm a Kabbalistic Jew. That's what
Really?
I'm saying. Yes,
That's
I believe
weird.
in a Zohar and Maimonides,
Why
Abraham,
They're
Abulafia.
weird. They're weird though.
Thank you. I am weird.
Okay. Let's admit it. Yeah.
I write my own books too. So.
Oh, epic. Yeah. But yeah, going back to the whole idea of like.
Why would you want to say we're weird though? I'm so confused.
Kabbalah.
Because you even have Catholics that are Kabbalistic.
They're not supposed to be. It's not a part of
You have
Catholic
Catholics that are Kabbalistic too. That follow people like Maimonides.
They shouldn't. Well, Maimonides, I like Maimonides. Yeah, he had a good metaphysical view of God. He had that right. But when it comes to Kabbalah, though, that's
No, but you got to understand this. The understanding of Kabbalistic knowledge is esoteric in a sense
it's esoteric.
where it's self. It has to come from self. It doesn't just come from any individual. It's your mystical understanding.
And that's where we disagree. This
is why I say to people, read it in Hebrew and understand it, the metaphysics of God. Understand the metaphysics of God before that question.
How do you interpret Isaiah 53?
Pardon?
Isaiah 53. How do you interpret it? Why would you bring it up? You haven't got Bible on you.
He has the Bible.
What was that?
Got Bible.
Isaiah 53.
Yeah, Isaiah 53. Yeah.
I have Isaiah 53 anyway, so.
Yeah. I want to see what you're gonna think about it.
Is that New Testament?
Old Testament. Isaiah, Old Testament. Yeah. So you're a Jew, so you should believe in it. Go to Isaiah 53 quickly.
What makes you think we're weird though?
No, Kabbalah is almost demonic to me. I feel like it's too esoteric, it's too demonic. It gets into like.
You know why it's too esoteric? Because people like you don't understand and you're calling it demonic.
I mean,
That's why it's esoteric. It's like me. That's what when I asked him to say Israelite, I didn't understand. But I can call him demonic.
Hebrew Israelite.
I can call him demonic, but at the same time, I can't call him demonic because he believes in the same thing as me.
I feel like it's pre-left. It's a false form of spirituality. I feel like Kabbalahism is a false form of spirituality.
Islam has their own thing too.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Islam has a different metaphysical understanding of God. They have their own thing. I agree with what they do. Okay, I don't say they're wrong. You know why I don't say they're wrong? Because many people in the Bible has a reference in the Quran.
Yeah, but like the Quran also like says that you believe in Ezra as a prophet.
Who?
The Quran says that you believe that Ezra is a prophet. The prophet Ezra, yeah. The Quran says that you believe.
And Enoch.
No, it's a son of God.
Enoch is a prophet too.
Yeah, but they say that you worship Ezra. The Jews worship Ezra.
Worship Ezra.
Exactly. The Quran says that. It's weird.
It's crazy. It's Surah 9:30.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah. So Isaiah 53.
So we worship a prophet. That's what it says in the Quran.
Yeah. It says that the Jews worship Ezra. The Jews. It says that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Surely he has bore our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did not esteem him stricken of God and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Who do you know, was wounded chastised and hurt for our iniquities, for our sins. Who was that? All we like sheep have gone astray.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. And Isaiah is prophesying him. Jesus Christ. Christ is the Messiah. And the Old Testament says this, right? The Jews are blind to it. They don't see it.
No, they're not blind to it.
They
We
deny
don't
Christ.
believe he died.
What? It says it right there.
We believe he lived, but we don't believe he died. There's a difference.
It says it right there. It says he died right
So
there.
what about Josephus?
Huh?
What about Josephus?
Yeah, Josephus. How about Josephus? He's a Jewish historian in the 1st century. He wrote about Jesus' life.
I don't know who that is.
That he died.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Surprised. He's
I don't know who
a
that
big
is.
name, you know.
He's
I
a big
don't know who
name,
that is.
yeah.
There's a lot of things I don't know, and I'm honest about it, innit?
I feel like, yeah, you can still be mystical if you're Catholic, though. There's lots of like very good and sound, proper spirituality in Catholicism. I feel like in Kabbalah,
But I don't believe. I believe that what the Catholics done to the world, in God's eyes, wrong. Sorry. That's why when it meant mystical, when I say mystical, you could understand what God thinks about it. It's wrong. You're killing 10 million people.
Yeah, that's the wrong thing. Yeah.
And then you call yourself a church and you're worshipping.
Yeah.
And you agree with that.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with everything the Pope says yet. I don't agree, like he can make bad decisions, right? But when it comes to the dogmas, right?
But that wasn't God's decision to do that. It was the church decision.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
God did not say anything about purgatory 10 million people.
That was the Pope's decision. Yeah. The Pope made a bad
What's your
decision.
background?
Ethnically, I'm ethnically Congolese. Ethnically.
Oh, anyway, this is Surah 9:30.
Ezra, the son of Allah.
Yeah.
And the Christians say the Messiah is the son of Allah.
Yeah. It's condemning us.
Is their message from their mouths. They imitate the saying of those who disbelieve before they
Yeah, exactly. How can you rate them? How can you rate them if they're saying stuff like that?
No, but there's a lot of things in the Quran
That are wrong.
that are wrong, but there's a lot of things in the Bible that are wrong.
No, nothing in the Bible is wrong.
This is why mysticism exists.
No, we have it.
Because you gotta agree, there is wrong things in the Bible and there's wrong things in the Quran, because you have to be honest about it.
No.
If it's wrong things in the book, you
Bible's
gotta agree with
perfect.
it.
Bible's perfect.
Huh?
How about you? What's your background?
Huh?
What's your background?
In what way? You mean belief or?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was born in Church of God, Seventh-day Sabbath-keeping church.
Yeah. What are you now then?
Is it Israelite?
Same thing.
Be Catholic. Be Catholic.
No, because but here's the thing. You're a Catholic.
Yeah. I became Catholic this year.
What made
Alright.
you want to become Catholic?
Long story, but I believe in authority, and I believe Christ made a church, not a set of beliefs, but an actual church, an institution, an organization. And if you're not part of the organization, you're not part of the church that Christ made. And if you're not part of the church that Christ made, you're not going to go to heaven.
So you need a physical thing to have belief.
No. I believe that Christ made a physical thing, and you need to be a part of that physical thing in order to be saved. Like Noah's Ark, right? You need to be in the ark to be saved by the flood. You need to be in the ark, right? And so
There was 2 floods, you know.
there was one.
There was 2.
Where's the other one?
One that wiped out the Nephilim and one that wiped out the
Oh.
humans.
No. They're the same one. Yeah. The Nephilims were in Genesis 6, right? And the flood didn't happen until later on.
No,
so
remember
yeah.
he's not Orthodox, so.
Oh yeah. What? Do you have a different canon?
He's got other things.
Yeah, the Nephilim were wiped out together with the humans in Genesis 4.
No, this is according to his book, remember?
What book
Whatever
do you read?
it is.
The Nephilim giants got wiped out first.
What book is that?
What book is that?
No, what book is it
The
in?
Guide to the Perplexed.
Okay, so not canonical then, not canonical.
The Guide to the Perplexed. If you read it, you understand it. There's many. The Nagamati scriptures.
Oh,
Many flipping books.
No, the Nagahami.
I could name so many.
I read Irenaeus.
Irenaeus.
He was a church father, right? He lived in the 2nd century, and he was responding to the Gnostics, right? And he repeated a lot of the Nagahami text back in the 2nd century. So he knew them personally. He knew the people that wrote the Nagahami text personally, and he was writing against them and refuting them.
All scholars can do that.
No, but he knew them though. He knew them personally though, and he knew the people.
Even if I knew you personally, I can have a different opinion of you.
Yeah, but he refuted them though.
Can I say something to you? A human can write something and have a completely different opinion for it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I do not go by it. Because in a human can be deceived.
Yeah. The thing is though, the people who wrote the Nag Hammadi text, right, they claim to have known the apostles, right, and they claim to have been...
The apostates, the 12 apostates.
Apostles, yeah. They're claiming it to be carrying on the teachings, right?
Ask your question, how many zodiacs are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12?
12.
12, yeah.
How many apostates are there?
12 apostles.
Thank you. You just answered my question.
I mean, that's just somebody...
12 apostates and 12 zodiacs. There's a mystical understanding of God, that's what I'm saying. There's cosmic understanding. When I say 12 apostates and 12 zodiacs, the Bible references a lot about the zodiacs. At different times of period of different periods of time.
Yeah, I get it, but like, thing is...
I'll reference it. There's 12 apostates and there's 12 zodiacs.
I don't think that Kabbalah is...
They all have a different meaning.
I don't think that the Zodiac, the Kabbalah thing here is ancient. I feel like it's a native tradition.
It's ancient because Adam was the first Kabbalist.
I don't believe that. Prove it. No, how do you even begin to prove that?
The guy to perplex.
I mean, like what?
The guy to perplex, yes.
What sources does he cite? What sources does he cite?
Sources that I study.
No. What sources does that text that book cite? What does it cite? But anyway, what's your issue Catholicism?
Torah.
Okay, the Torah. Where in the Torah does it say this?
Torah is a big word.
I know, but I read the whole thing. I read the whole Torah.
In Hebrew.
In English.
What's the problem? In Hebrew, brother.
Do you know Hebrew?
Yeah, but what Hebrew though? That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think the Torah is in Hebrew and Arabic.
I don't speak Yiddish.
Yeah.
There's a Torah in Yiddish and there's a Torah classical and authentic Hebrew.
I mean, the Torah is written in Arabic and Hebrew, so you need to learn 2 languages to understand it.
I read it in classical Hebrew, so.
Okay. What does Bereshit?
I have a different understanding to you. That's why I don't agree.
What does Bereshit mean? Bereshit.
That's one of the books, isn't it?
Yeah, Bereshit means something. I'm trying to think. There's so many meanings in the Torah. The words have different.
It's the first word in the Bible. It's the first word in the Torah. The first word. The first word in the Bible. It means in the beginning.
You know how many Hebrew words I know, and you say one word.
No, it's the first one in there. I feel like it's quite a famous one.
Listen, there's so many meanings. Because you've got to remember, in Gematria, the Hebrew alphabet, you can have it in numbers.
Oh, that's I know that myth, but I don't believe in it. I know about
You
this.
know why you don't believe in it? Because you don't understand it. I understand it.
Okay. Oh, actually, you said Bereshit.
Bereshit.
That's strange. They got it as a rat.
Oh yeah, Bereshit. I was asking you read, but yeah, that's
right.
If you read a lot of things in an authentic thing, you will have a different understanding.
Okay. Do you have it in Hebrew? So just tell me, why are you not Catholic? So what's your opinion on Catholicism? What's your opinion of it? Opinion of the Catholic Church?
Oh, it's the because they've thrown away God's commandments and they brought their own stuff in.
Example?
Huh?
For example?
Well, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Yeah.
And like I was speaking to that Catholic guy plenty of times, but he enjoys his pork. And what else? Well, there's other things as well, but obviously the Sabbath is like the big one that they decide to truck it away as if God.
I know that story. I know about that story.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when you read the Ten Commandments, it says that God wrote the Ten Commandments onto a stone. Now, which commandment did you use up the most stone in to describe?
The first one? The first one?
No, that's short.
Which one is it then? Which one? Oh, the Sabbath, keep it holy.
Yeah, so if God's going to use all that stone up, he's going to write all that stone, and he takes out the biggest part of the stone. And so that big part of stone, that's just going to be thrown away.
Yeah, but think this way, like, so you believe in the New Testament, right? New Testament.
Yeah.
So I mean, Paul, he's not against eating pork, right? If we read Galatians 2, right? There Peter is sitting with some people who were uncircumcised, right? And the Bible talks about like being circumcised, right? and then he moves away from them, right? And then Paul says, "Hey, Peter, don't do that. That's immoral. You shouldn't do that."
Yeah.
And so, like, we are not saved by the Mosaic law. If you go to Romans 4, right? I'm gonna go there.
I still can't believe you're Catholic.
Why not? Epic. It's the
They
best.
put our ancestors on, not my ancestors. They put many people in churches underneath where there's dungeons. In the Caribbean, in Africa, in many places in South America, so many places.
That wouldn't really be the church though. That would be individuals.
Church!
And that would be individuals there.
Church!
But here's the thing: if someone did that, and the church found out, then they should put them on trial, isn't it?
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, it happens.
Put on trial, they made millions from that.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't stand it. Just my it's hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy.
sorry, bro. Sorry. Yeah. So Romans 4, yes, it says here. For what says the scriptures? Yeah, Abraham believed God. Okay. So here's a question. Yeah. What should we say then? That Abraham our father, as pertaining to the flesh, have found. So basically, this is a weird translation. Basically saying, how did Abraham find salvation, right? For Abraham was justified by works. He has wherefore to glory, but not before God. So what says the scriptures? Abraham believed, and it was considered to him as righteousness. It's quoted in Genesis 15 there, right? That's before he was circumcised, before he did end the commandments, right?
Yes, when he had all the animals and he cut them open.
No, this is before that. This is before that. This is Genesis 15.
No, you remember the time where he cut all the animals open and he was falling asleep, and then the fire came across.
Yeah.
So that's the first time that God gave that long sleep.
Yeah, but what was it that saved him though? What was it that saved him though? It was his faith. His faith is what saved him. Practically, yeah. So it's not circumcision. It's not like keeping the Mosaic law. If you keep on reading. Find a verse. Yeah, so now to him that worketh is the reward not reckoned of grace. But can we do the interpretation? This is really weird. This translation is it okay?
I find it quite.
And it's really strange for me. Yeah, I'm not into the KJV. I'm not really into the KJV. I use ESV.
No, because I've been reading it.
ESV. English Standard Version.
Yeah, I don't think I have that, because you see, the only ones I've got are the ones that are
I mean, like, even the NIV will be fine.
No, but see, the only ones I've got on here are the public domain ones.
Okay.
Because you have to watch out. Some translations, they charge for them. So NIV is one of them. You can't. I don't even.
Like my icon. My icon. Look at that icon. See the background. The background. You see it. The background.
All right.
We're in a messianic age anyway.
We are, but you don't believe that, do you? Because Jews don't believe in the Messiah, you don't believe in Christ. And let's just show you're different.
Well, he says that there's some mention of the Messiah in that book. You're telling me the Zohar? Zohar.
Oh, okay. Who's the Messiah to you? Who do you think the Messiah is?
Messiah that's coming.
Oh, it's not here yet. Okay, yeah, then yeah, you know. I'm still waiting for him.
We're in the messianic age, so when I say he'll come many times, so that's why when I say the messianic age.
Fair enough.
But also messianic thoughts, so people have messianic thinking.
What about this ISV one? It's in a little bit.
Hold on. Cover.
Anyway, nice talking to you.
You too, man. What's your name? Akram, yeah? Esdras. Yeah, perfect, yeah.
My second name's Abu Lafia.
Are you Arab?
No.
Egyptian?
No.
Moroccan?
I'm a Jewish Moroccan.
Moroccan, okay, I thought so, yeah. Good.
But my mother's Jewish, my father's Jewish.
Okay, so are they Orthodox
I'm a
Jews?
descendant from Abu Lafia.
I mean, are they Orthodox Jews? Are they Orthodox?
My great grandfather was.
Okay. So what happened to your grandfather and your mum and dad? When did they steer off?
They become scholars.
Okay, brilliant.
So they became like so interested in the metaphysical understanding of God, the mystical understanding, to a point where they became scholars.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, interesting.
they when I say there's a room that we still have to this day filled with
Books.
no, just on the walls and writings and
Oh, really?
papers and.
So schizophrenia.
So my family are descendants from Abulafia. Abulafia was one of my modamis is friends, not friends,
Really?
not friends, someone you learn from. So that's why my second name is Abulafia.
Oh, interesting.
So I go back 7 or 8 generations or longer.
Yeah, wow.
So that's why when I told you I have a mystical understanding, it has been passed down. So I have things that have been passed down to me. That's why I have this understanding. I can't just accept because it's been passed down to a point where I've done the Torah, I've done everything. So
But it's so wrong though.
listen, when things have been passed down, Jewish thought says you have to accept it because it's been passed down your ancestors.
Yeah, I get it.
It has to be accepted because it's been passed down from your forefathers. And every single time you go to a Jewish household, they have a notebook. And they're supposed to write in a notebook. Every single person is supposed to write in a notebook. And it gets passed down, it keeps going.
Yeah, do you have it?
Yeah, I have a notebook in my
Can I
family.
have it?
No, why? You don't mind.
But actually, I want to ask you this because I've heard this before, so I don't know if it applies to your group, your Jewish
Yeah,
group.
Sephardi Jews, yeah. It doesn't apply to us.
What it is that sometimes I've heard that if a rabbi finds something out which might change the belief, they will not incorporate it in order to save the ones who've gone before. So because then if they say, oh, we did this wrong,
there you go.
that means the ones who were before,
how do you know
that
it's
means
for you?
they
Me like
just
around,
died
right?
and
No, I don't think you came over.
so what they do is they
back this way.
as it was traditionally.
He goes over there.
So as to
I don't want to
protect the ones.
Correct.
So weird, just like speak to anyone, just
That's why
has
things
to
get
sign,
passed down.
doesn't it?
I don't have
When
to
you go over to them.
because of things I've read.
Yeah.
I've had things passed down to me. And my name has reference to it.
Yeah.
Abulafia, my name has reference to it. That's why I talk about people like my mother and things like this because these are the people who follow.
Right, yeah.
For mystical thoughts. So it's mystical understanding. Thought process.
But I don't know if you realise that that's actually similar to the Muslims because you know the 4 schools of faith.
Assalamu alaikum, akhi. Okay, alhamdulillah. You okay, yeah?
Oh, is you Jew as well?
No, she's a Muslim, but I say hello to everyone.
Alright.
Because I'm respectful.
Yeah, okay.
I respect everyone's faith, I respect everyone individually.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that you're an Israelite because you said the South and the things like this. Because if Israelites went to the South, they're going to end up going towards Africa, Congo, Nigeria, things like this, and trading out.
Yeah.
And then I know there's a saying, the slave ships came, and then they took people who went to Caribbean, and there's Israelites in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
So I agree with you. I'm not saying that. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that you should have some parts of historical artifacts or something to be like, yeah, this is us.
But here's
Like we have.
Yeah, but this is the thing. It says that how God is going to destroy them out of the land. So if they manage to get out of the land and keep some of their stuff, that means they're not fully destroyed. So it's as if God didn't. Oh, what's Oh no, what was I talking about? I'm trying to remember now.
About having preserved and...
Oh yeah. So because like in Jamaica, if you go to like the documentation that the Europeans have, they've got documentation showing that they took people from Africa. But if you actually go to the Caribbean, everyone there is acting like they're Caribbean, even though their ancestry did, according to documentation, did come from Africa. So what that shows is that certain peoples, even in modern times, can have their history wiped out. Because that...
I don't agree with that.
No, but...
I think you shouldn't have your history wiped out.
Oh yeah, I know it shouldn't happen.
No, but like, you should have something at least to fall back on.
Yeah, but...
To define you as an individual.
Yeah, but this shows that it can happen because like in Haiti, their religion is, voodoo. I don't know if you know, it's actually based on Catholicism. So have you ever seen it where they got these little dolls of Mary, and it's a white Mary as well. So they actually use the Catholic. They use the Catholic version of Catholicism, which with all the white images, etc. And then they put it into their belief of the spirits being under the ground.
Where did magic and black magic come from in the first place? We want to answer that question for you.
Well, I say it's Babylonian.
Yes, King Solomon.
No, but it was
King Solomon had 72 keys of Solomon. His signal, his ring, manipulated 72 demons.
Yeah, but remember, when Moses went down with these rods, those magicians, they could make serpents out of their rods. So it was before, so it's way back then.
You know King Solomon?
Yeah.
He was a Persian Jew. Not a Persian. Before the Persians, what do you call them? No. Because there's 4 dynasties in that place.
Well, where's Babylon first?
Not Babylon. Babylon first. I'm talking about after the Babylonians. There was another part of the sector with the Babylonians as well.
Chaldeans?
No. I'm trying to think what they're called again. I'll get the name. I seem to have deep thoughts.
Yeah, but they didn't take the Israelites into captivity, though.
King Solomon wasn't from there. His wife as well wasn't from there. His wife was from.
Yeah, depends on which wife you mean, though. But there's loads of them.
He had 700 ones too, but the main one which was a witch.
No, but that was from Egypt. That's the one that was mentioned. I think the Egyptian, the daughter of Pharaoh, wasn't it? I think was the main wife.
What's her name?
I don't think it's got a name.
She was a witch. Not a witch, a mystical flipping.
Well, he says that King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites.
One wife he really liked.
Yeah.
And she died in Saudi. Her shrine is in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it doesn't have a name here though. And he says what gods he went after. So he went after Milcom and Molech, obviously. Well, Molech's a big one, isn't it?
Moloch.
Yeah. But yeah, she's a classic. I presume it's a she. Yeah, it looks like a she. But I tell her about Tesco and she's not interested because you can get. Yeah, every time I mention Tesco, she runs off.
I don't give.
No, but if you go to Tesco, they got all the food laid out there that's expired, isn't it? So she can just go in there and get it.
Like £1, 50p, 75p, 95p. I know this. Sometimes I eat that.
Yeah. Well, but anyway. No, but what happens anyway? There's groups that pick that food up, and you can just go in there and find.
What was I saying? So King Solomon came from modern-day Babylon. He was a Jew, but I forgot what like place he came from. What's the name of the group he came from? Because there's reference this to the Zohar.
But I presume it's not in the Bible, eh?
It's a commentary on the Torah.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean this what he said about Solomon, where he is born, or where he came from. That's not in the Bible, I think.
But it's in the Zohar, though.
Right.
And the guide to the perplexed.
But I wonder why that has a similar name to the Reliance of the Traveller, like in the Muslims.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But like I said, you can read more. There's Nagamati scriptures, there's things I've referenced to you already.
But don't you want to take Solomon's advice at the end of Ecclesiastes?
Solomon's advice for what?
Oh, what the advice that he gave? Let's check it out. So he said. All right, so this is. All right, so this is what Solomon said. So it's Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. The words of the wise are as goads, and as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. And further by these, my son, be admonished of making many books, there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. So you see, Solomon's warning people that you gotta watch out for reading too many of those books, and if you study too much, it wears your flesh out.
That's false.
What? From Solomon? You sure?
False.
You're going to speak against Solomon?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
I mean, seriously, the highest form of knowledge is wisdom.
Yeah.
How do you obtain wisdom?
Well, Solomon says.
What's one of the rules to obtain wisdom?
No,
read and study as much as you can.
No, Solomon says listening to wise people. No,
wise people can be deceiving, so why am I going to listen to wise people?
Yeah, but then.
So like now you agree with me. Why am I going to listen to wise people if they're deceiving?
Because God has His prophets, there must be a way of finding the people who are not the deceivers. Because God ain't going to
How
just
are you
leave
going to
it.
do that?
Well, the easiest way to, like Jesus said, of spotting a deceiver is by their fruits.
So how are you going to find their fruits? How are you going to find their fruits?
Oh, well, no, the fruits are what they're doing.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some people can be deceiving. In someone's eyes, like I'm saying, a lot of things are deceiving. You can't just say, oh, because someone's fruits because of what they're doing, yeah, I'm going to accept him because he's wise.
Oh, no.
Behind closed doors, you're doing something else.
No, but what he means is that what they're doing has certain results. So you're looking at what the results are. So
but in order to become wise, you have to study all forms of knowledge. Even if you don't agree with it. That's wisdom. That's where wisdom comes in. That's the highest form of consciousness. And that's when every single prophet, every single person through the Bible had the highest form of consciousness because they had you see these people speaking to God, right? They had the highest form of consciousness.
Well, God did speak in dreams, though.
Yes, that's still the highest form of consciousness.
A dream?
Yeah, a dream is still the highest form of consciousness because you're dreaming.
Well,
when you're dreaming, sometimes you can't be present in that dream.
Oh, but I've had it where I've been sometimes. Most of the times not.
That means you're getting your highest form of consciousness if you've been present.
Okay. What I usually find though is that most dreams if I get into it, usually I've only got like a few minutes before I wake up. Because they'll only let me go a certain distance. And I've only had one dream where I was in control for a reasonable amount of time. It was interesting. Anyway,
nice talking to you.
Yeah, and you. Alright.
There's many forms of knowledge out there.
Yeah. Alright, now I'm gonna.
But I do agree with you though.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and find my man who you were talking to.